Everything in order for undocking, again scheduled at 3:45 a.m. Central Time, 4:45 a.m. Eastern Time, so that Prokopyev, Petelin, and Rubio can begin about a 38-minute fly around of the station and a relocation and a redock to the Prichal module. Coming up on 1 minute until the issuance of the undocking command to begin the opening of the hooks holding Soyuz to the Poisk module of the International Space Station.
4230, T11 illuminated, T15 not illuminated, gas 17 is illuminated.
The International Space Station now in free drift, basically disabling all thruster activity so as not to perturbate the undocking that is coming up a short time from now.
Please check D2 and S16. Check if they're illuminated or not.
2 minutes away from physical separation, standing by for the issuance of the undocking command. The command now issued for the opening of the hooks holding the Soyuz to the Poisk module. Physical separation is expected about a minute from now.
Greetings to you, Andrei. Hello. Standing by.
Standing by for physical separation.
SSVP executed to come on.
Undocking confirmed. Right on time at 3:45 a.m. Central Time, 4:45 a.m. Eastern Time. Soyuz MS-23 on its way with Prokopyev, Petelin, and Frank Rubio on board.
I'm turning off the wide angle. Oh, stand by. All right. Send in the command. Air or DK command is sent. Digital control loop command sent. Fuse power is illuminated. RUD command sent. Copy. The target is within the 4 squares.
You can see the thruster firings on the MS-23 vehicle under the manual flying of Station and Soyuz Commander Sergey Prokopyev.
AGC mode, yes, AGC mode.
Good back-away rate reported by the Russian flight control team.
The range is about 8 meters currently. Copy.
Another good view of the Soyuz MS-23 that undocked from the station just about 2.5 minutes ago at 3:45 a.m. Central Time, 4:45 a.m. Eastern Time, beginning to back away above the International Space Station, having departed the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the complex, moving to a distance of between 40 and 60 meters away before it initiates a 180-degree rotation and then its fly around of the complex.
At a hard stop, but please do not rush.
The Soyuz is currently about 20 meters away from the Poisk module port from which it separated just a few minutes ago. This view is the engineering cross-haired view on the left side of your screen, showing the Poisk docking port as the Soyuz backs away to a distance of some 40 to 60 meters away, where it will execute a 180-degree rotation.
Fly around is in progress. Current range is around
25 meters now, separating Soyuz from the station.
Please confirm if you can see all the indications on the VECA with the monitor clearly.
The Soyuz and the International Space Station flying some 260 miles above the Earth, crossing the west coast of Africa on a southwest to northeasterly trajectory.
33, around 33.
Soyuz now about 33 meters away, continuing to back away from the station directly above the complex. Data received here indicates that the Prichal module docking port has been powered up in preparation for the arrival and contact and capture of the Soyuz, with the relocation docking or the redocking of the Soyuz to Prichal, the multi-hatched node module that is attached to the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module. That redocking scheduled at approximately 4:23 a.m. Central Time, 5:23 a.m. Eastern. Smooth back away from the International Space Station under the control of Soyuz Commander and Station Commander Sergey Prokopyev.
Around counterclockwise, starting at the hard stop. Copy and confirm. Your go.
And the Soyuz now beginning its 180-degree roll maneuver. Once this roll maneuver is complete, Prokopyev then will fly the Soyuz in a radial fly-around to a point directly in front of the station and then below the station, maintaining that 40 to 60 meter separation distance.
(90°). Copy. (130°). Switching from the hard stop.
Almost complete with the 180-degree roll maneuver.
Approaching 180°. The turnaround is completed.
The roll maneuver now complete. Prokopyev will soon begin to fly the Soyuz from this point directly above the station to a point in front of the station, then below the complex. And the Soyuz now has received a command to extend its docking probe in advance of its forthcoming redocking to the Prichal module, the multi-hatched node module that is attached to the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module that's on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. Prokopyev, Petelin, and Rubio running about 4 minutes ahead of their predicted timeline for this relocation today. Again, the relocation serving a dual purpose to open up the Poisk module for upcoming Russian spacewalks by Prokopyev and Petelin that will get underway on April 18th, and to clear the Poisk for the arrival of the ISS Progress 84 cargo ship in late May. Once redocked to the Prichal module, the Soyuz MS-23 will remain at that Prichal port until Rubio, Prokopyev, and Petelin depart the station for good, currently scheduled for September 27th.
The large diameter shows less than 4 squares, and the range is around 60 meters. Copy.
The Soyuz docking probe has now been extended as planned. Everything going extremely well, very smoothly. Periodically, you can see thruster firings as Prokopyev manually flies the Soyuz, currently to a point from directly above the station to a point directly in front of the station. This Soyuz again was launched on February 24th, uncrewed from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. 2 days later, executing an automated docking to the Poisk module to replace the damaged Soyuz MS-22 spacecraft that undocked from the station without a crew on board on March 28th, landing by parachute on the steppe of Kazakhstan. The Soyuz now almost directly behind or in front of the International Space Station, essentially looking down the barrel of the docking port of the Zvezda service module as it continues its fly around under the control of Sergey Prokopyev, maintaining a distance of around 55 meters from the station. This view from the engineering camera on the Soyuz vehicle showing an excellent view of the ISS Progress 83 cargo craft that is docked to the aft end of the Zvezda service module. Sergey Prokopyev continuing to fly the Soyuz to a point now directly below the station. And now in the field of view, you can see that bulbous module. That is the Prichal module to which Prokopyev will align the Soyuz forward docking probe and move in for final approach and a redocking to the International Space Station.
Copy. Please continue the flight around.
The Soyuz and the International Space Station flying in tandem, moving from southwest to northeast in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator, about to pass the border between southern Russia and western Kazakhstan. And again, the wide view showing the Soyuz as it slowly but surely approaches its alignment point, some 55 meters away from the Prichal module. That's on the left side of your screen. That is the multi-hatched node module that is attached to the nadir or Earth-facing side of the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module. The fly around is now complete. The Soyuz precisely aligning itself now with the Prichal module in advance of a short period of station keeping and then final approach for redocking. And you see the Prichal docking port now in the field of view from the cross-haired engineering camera on the Soyuz MS-23.
I'm aligned with the docking port axis. Copy.
Prokopyev reporting good alignment with the Prichal docking port.
V5 command. Please send the command on time. Command sent. Copy. At 12:06.
Prokopyev running about 5 minutes ahead of schedule. No problem with the timing. Everything going very smoothly. Soyuz flying 260 miles over northwestern Kazakhstan. Everything continuing to go very smoothly with the relocation of the Soyuz MS-23 that you see in the field of view. In the center section of the Soyuz, the descent module.
The current range is 25.
Final approach now underway. The Soyuz now just 25 meters away from its final destination, the Prichal module, the node module docking port. Strapped in to the descent module, Sergey Prokopyev in the center seat as Soyuz commander, flanked on his left by Dimitri Petelin, and to his right, NASA's Frank Rubio. This again the vehicle that the three will ride home to Earth on September 27th to wrap up some 371 days in space. After the Soyuz redocks to the Prichal module and the hooks are closed to form a hard mate, there will be about 90 minutes for the crew to conduct leak checks to make sure that we have an airtight seal between the Soyuz and Prichal before the hatches will be open to allow the three crew members back inside the International Space Station. Again, the view over Russian ground stations from the Soyuz engineering camera as Prokopyev slowly but surely flies Soyuz in for its redocking to the Prichal module. That's the node module, multiple hatches for multiple vehicles to arrive at the station.
The current range is 18 meters. Copy.
Prokopyev confirming 18 meters, now separating Soyuz from Prichal. Soyuz and the International Space Station flying over northern Mongolia. To recap so far, Soyuz undocked from the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the International Space Station at 3:45 a.m. Central, 4:45 a.m. Eastern Time, backed away from that docking port to a distance of some 40 meters or so, began a fly-around under the manual control of Roscosmos cosmonaut and Soyuz commander Sergey Prokopyev, completed the fly-around and now is in final approach for a redocking to the Prichal module. 15 meters now separating Soyuz from Prichal. Soyuz now flying over southeastern China, moving from northwest to southeast. About to move inside 10 meters from Prichal.
The range is 10 meters. Copy. 10 meters.
Smoothly closing in for its redocking to the space station. You can see the docking probe fully extended from the orbital module, or the uppermost section of the Soyuz spacecraft.
The range is 7 meters. Getting ready to perform station keeping.
There will be a very brief period of station keeping. One more check of the precise alignment of that forward docking probe with Prichal. That brief period of station keeping will occur at the 3-meter mark.
The target is aligned with the center. Current range is 5. Copy. Set up the Aegis zone. Station keeping is in progress. Copy.
And Prokopyev has put the brakes on for a brief period of station keeping.
With the final approach and docking.
And they now have a final go from Russian flight controllers for final approach.
Impulse.
As the station and Soyuz fly 260 miles over Osaka, Japan.
Standing by.
A great view of the MS-23 spacecraft, now just 2 meters away from contact and capture. Standing by for docking. Contact confirmed. Capture confirmed. Docking occurring at 4:22 a.m. Central Time, 5:22 a.m. Eastern Time.
Congratulations with the successful redocking. Thank you. Please accept our congratulations as well. I'm activating the translational and controller. Copy.